Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you're doing well. I am Bird Dog John, back for an hour of fun and games, talking NDI over the next 60 minutes. I'm glad that you could join us today. See, we've got some folks already, and got a new follower here while the show is starting, Soundman447. This is well, that's really loud. So I hope you're doing well. And thanks for joining. I appreciate that. Alrighty, so yeah, fun stuff. So our boy Dan from Australia just was interviewed by, where is it here? It's on the user group. Let me adjust my microphone too while I'm at it. Okay. So here, Adobe Video, he was interviewed, and it looks like he's, let's see how long this goes. Whoa. Okay, so it's like a 45-minute interview, so that's pretty cool. I'll put my other ear in, I guess. Actually, I'll just tuck it away. So yeah, there's that. If you want to watch it, I might show part of it here just as something to do, something to watch. You could do a little watch party, so hang around. Also bring your questions with you, NDI stuff, if you got tickets in, all that sort of good stuff. I'm also running a secondary line, so let me look, let me listen. Whoops. Restream. Brutal. Come on. So we found out on Tuesday that it wasn't lined up exactly, so I'm going to do that again here. If the video and the audio are even close, audio drops on the second camera. Yeah, wow. That was brutal. Okay, not using second stream yet. It's the same audio line as this one, it's just delayed slightly. So that would be the drop that you hear. All right, well, I got to troubleshoot that. I just thought of it this morning that we were having problems with it the other day and never fixed it. So, whoops a daisy. Okay. Don't want to hear the dog barking. He's going to start barking here soon, so close that door. Alrighty. How's it going, Sound Man? Thanks for hanging out. Let's see. Wow, Amazon's already been by this morning. Apparently. Your package has been delivered. Excellent. Got a little project going on in the basement where I'm moving all of my sound gear, like my stereo and surround sound system and all that. It's all going to be housed in a separate room inside of a network cabinet that has like airflow and a bunch of other things. So got to get a bunch of extra cables to go the distance because it's about, I don't know, 40 feet or something like that grand total. So I have, oh, that reminds me. Hang on. That reminds me, I was going to check for something here in my extra gearbox. I thought I had XLR cables, but evidently I don't know where they are if I do, and that shouldn't come as a shock to anybody because my office is just so stellar organized right now. So good. Got 2 of my P400s in last week, working on getting them set up. Awesome. P400s are fun. That's exciting stuff. Are you primarily audio, given the name of your Restream? I hate this. Given the name of your Twitch handle? Or are you kind of an everything man? Okay, cool. That's good. This is good. I'm gonna check on Facebook feed. I think I need to get smaller earpieces for this in-ear, which are, I believe, in this case. So I'm running the ME Audio Pro 6s or something like that. I forget. Anyway, oh, not this. And they come with all these earpieces that you have to try on, right? Isolation Premium earphone tips. Okay, those are foams. I want the plastic ones though. So they come with like all these different ones, right? That you could pick from, depending on the size of your ear. And the ones that I'm running right now, pretty snug, but they tend to fall out. I got started and everything, but have become everything. Yep. That is a common tale. Very common indeed. Well, thanks for stopping by here. How are the P400s working out so far? Have you got a chance to look at the image over NDI? See how you like it? Do you have any other cameras to compare the P400s to? Like, are you running P200s or? All right, let's give this earpiece a try. These are substantially smaller. Whoops. Oops. Okay. Yeah. I think I like that. Give this a go for a while. Pull these old ones out. These ones are a bit more firm than the ones that I just had on. It's like one ear is bigger than the other, you know? Okay, cool. Alrighty, let's just see how this microphone sounds now. Check, check. Okay, can live with that for now. Leave it in the monitors. That earpiece is staying in, so that's good. Awesome. All right. Cool, cool. I have to pull some fiber to get them in their final location, so it will be a bit before I get the final look. How are you? Are you doing fiber to switches to P400s? And remember, the 400s take just over PoE plus, so they need PoE plus plus. So best to either power them with wall or a specific injector that can do both of those standards. Make sure you give it enough power. I've been dealing with one that seems to work okay on PoE plus, but the maximum drawdown is like 32.7 watts or something like that, which is more than what PoE plus offers. Whoa! Hey everybody, sorry about that. I don't know why I did that. I want to open the source file for my mixer. Ah, here we go. Whoops-a-daisy. I promise I'm not brand new at this. Okay, so monitor off. There we go. All right. Excellent. Oh, do I not have that? No. Fiber to switch. I'm using the Unify 8-port switches, and I can do PoE++. The new one, right? Because I have the old one. It doesn't do that. Ah! It's earpiece. No! Thought I had you. Which one is that? Meraki. So this one this one. Come on. There we go. So this is the switch you're talking about? Because this one's just straight PoE plus. This one. It's auto sensing. But the P200 needs 802.3 BT PoE. This one's AT. Right? P400 tech specs. I mean, if it works, it works, but it might be underpowered, so. Here we go. So 12 volt PoE plus 802.3 BT. Oh, there. See, maximum power draw. This is a real shame because it can max out at 31.5, which is 1.5 watts more than what PoE plus can deliver. The guy that I was working with yesterday was able to get the P400s to power up on PoE plus. He never peaked them out, but he wasn't also offering like maximum, like he wasn't doing anything maximum performance. So on a test bench, sure, it works fine. Also know that if you're going over fiber with NDI, you may have to change the protocol to UDP because the TCP isn't, no, the fiber modules are not fast enough to translate send and receive NDI frames. And so it can only be a one-way street. So you may have to change the actual protocol on your network to UDP to get it to work right. Oh, gotcha. Cool, yeah. So if it's right there next to the switch, you're fine. Because you have DC power. Cool. Yeah, be careful with that protocol because you might get drop frames if you try and do TCP over fiber. Mostly because there's just too much going on that it can't seem to... Whoa. Facebook feed is crazy behind. There we go. Okay. So yeah, just heads up. Even 10 gig fiber? Yeah, because it's the actual the modules, the SFP mods that aren't quick enough. The fiber's fast enough. The switch is fast enough. But yeah, I've seen problems with fiber over TCP. I mean, test it out. See what works for you. We don't have like, you know, a bunch of scenarios that we have available where we can test it. So it'll be different for you than it is for others. So run it over TCP if you got 10 gig fiber. This is not PoE plus though. Or I'm sorry, this is not SFP plus. This is just SFP. So that's 1 gig SFP, right? You could trunk them and get 2 gigs, I think. But this specific switch is only 1 gig each per SFP port. And I know that because I have this one. I also have, they have a fiber mod, which you may be interested, if you're going straight up fiber. Okay, I'll have to look at that. I have a bunch of fiber in the network. Check this out. Where is it? Routing and switching. I have my hands on this one, the 16XG. These guys are, there's 4 RJ45 Ethernet ports that are 10 gig, and there are 12 10 gig SFP plus ports. This would be a great core switch if you're for what you're doing. I think it would handle 3 or 4 P200s fairly well. They could come back. Yeah, I have 3 of those. Yeah, seems to work pretty well. Good performance out of it so far. I haven't pushed it to the limit, but I'm kind of waiting for 4K units to show up in my support office so I can give it a test. So that seems to be working all right. Cool. What's going on, everybody? Whoa, there's like a whole bunch of people all of a sudden in Twitch. So how's it going? Nice to see you. A whole bunch of people that I don't recognize. Oh, Yakimoto, there you are. Haven't seen you in a while. Soundman is new. He just joined our, he just followed up. What's going on? How are you? So good to see you again. Hey, thanks for stopping by. If you're new, shoot me a message here in the chat. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to follow the channel too. That would help us out big time. And I'll give you a little shout out if you follow the channel. No, don't have to subscribe. Just follow. Follow's fun. I don't need your money. I just want you to follow the channel so that we continue to grow. And the 8 ports will plug into 16xg Vibe fiber. Right on. So yeah, that'll be a 1 gig throughput back, but that's fine. That's enough for one camera. I mean, this isn't a recommendation. I can't recommend switches or anything like that, but I've had good success with the Unify stuff. I know people who have good success with the 350 Ciscos. I know people that have good success with Arista or Mellanox or whatever. But choose your poison. There's nobody in the NDI world that's going to tell you what switch to buy and how to set it up, because then they take responsibility for their recommendation. So they're not going to do that. But I've had good success with this fiber core, and with the, I've got another 6. No, what do I have? I've got this guy, the 150 watt 16 port PoE. It's good stuff, and it'll do PoE plus, so we can run the cameras off of them. We can run the P200s and P100s, but it won't do the 400 or the P4K. I forget. Where's the P4K? Let's check this out. I have one of them here that needs to be repaired. It's a pre-production model. But here, P4K stats. Power draw on this guy is 3796. So that guy definitely needs PoE++. I use the SG350 for my Dante network and like them, but Unify is way more user-friendly. Okay, I agree with you. Man, I'm getting frame drops on this thing, eh? I think this camera, something's screwy with this camera. Let's close some stuff. See if we can't improve performance at all. I gotta figure that out, because it's like clearly dropping frames, and it's a Canon M50. Do I have this other one in here? No. The X16 is a core switch we are on as well. Nice. Oh, hey, Atomic, how are you? Man, there's some names popping up today. That's fun. Welcome, welcome. Live on iPhone. I see you back there. There's another guy that hangs out with us sometimes. Cool stuff. Yeah, the okay, so I'll say this about the user friendliness of Unify. They are user friendly as long as you get the setup sequence correct. And it seems to me that their setup instructions don't go far enough with support in terms of how to do it right the first time. So I usually construct my Unify networks with, better now with the new backpacks. Oh, there you go. I usually construct my Unify network with a gateway. So I'm using, in this case, I'm using the Pro 4, USG 4. So we set up a gateway and then we set up the rest. Well, I also use cloud as the controller. So you got to set up USG, then you got to set up cloud, then you got to like reset the USG, and then you got to set up switches and update and all that stuff. And it just seems like there's like an order of operations that's kind of unsaid. There's a YouTuber called, I've talked about him before. He's called Crosstalk Solutions, and he's pretty much like, he does mostly Unify stuff. So that's where I learned to do a lot of my setup stuff when I was starting out, and that helps. But yeah, it just seems like there's something about the process. Maybe they started building switches before they built the controller necessarily, and so it's kind of a backwards way of setting it up. Whereas like you should download the controller and then plug in a unit and start, configuring that. But it seems like you have to set up the gateway, You have to set up a cloud key through its own portal. Then you got to like assign it an IP address and attach it to the switch that'll be inside of the. It's just seems like it's more hassle than it's worth. But anyway, now that it's set up, and I'm using Cloud Key, which I like a lot because it allows me to just go to the website and not have to launch an actual. Oh my gosh, the frames on this. All right, let's close some of these. Maybe it's Chrome. I'm gonna close a bunch of this stuff down. See if that helps. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, so, it was Chrome. Dream Machine cleans a lot of that stuff up. I have heard that. Yes. And that's something I haven't tested yet, but in an environment where, okay, here we just launch this. This is what I love about it. I can just launch it and through the website. The Cloud Key does all this for me now. And so I could just see the network remotely from any computer anywhere, and that's way better. So I like it. But yeah, cool stuff. Devices. So the Pro 4 14 port switch, 150, and the 16XG seem to be pretty solid. They came out with a 6.0 update a few weeks ago, and everybody was like, don't upgrade, and that's when I started having problems. But it wasn't because of the upgrade. It was just the sequence in which I was using. So I think I figured it out. I need to document it. I think I figured it out, how to do it correctly so it doesn't take me like 3 hours every time. And I did this one, and then I talked a client through one of them one time, just like, here are the products you need and such. And then it took us 2.5 hours to get it going. So I just need to write it all down, and then I won't have to worry about that anymore. Anyway, cool. So I love having Cloud Key because it just, you don't have to run it on your machine. You don't have to, or like install it on a server or something silly like that. Just connect it to the internet, connect Cloud Key, control them from here, be done with it. So I do like that part, and yes, it is user friendly. Gosh, this earpiece. Do I have anything smaller? Whew, it is warm in here. Maybe I'm whoa. All right, maybe I'm talking too much because I'm like sweaty. So let's open a window and let some air in here. And it's also because my computer is running and generating all sorts of heat. John, do you have IGMP snooping turned on the USG? No, I do not. Why do you ask? I guess I don't need to download that again. Where is it? Here we are. So NDI has a network guide, right? Which is like from May of 2018. So a lot has happened since then. I'm not using multicast, so I don't use IGMP snooping. It broke our NDI sources as well with it on. Yes. So that's for a multicast environment. If you're not using a multicast environment, then yeah, don't use it, because it's like, I think the new firmware actually for a lot of the bird dogs have discovery service enabled for some reason. I need to verify that, but I've run into it a couple of places where people are like, it seems that discovery service is enabled by default, and it shouldn't be. You should turn that on, particularly if you install a discovery server. And so people are updating and then their devices are disappearing, and that's a problem. So man, all these earpieces are too big. That, or maybe me pulling on the headset is not working very well, but got weird shaped ears. Well, let's trade ears. Let's see how that works. All right, here we go. Doesn't really matter which one I use. Okay, let's give this a go. Yeah, so here, NewTek specifically outlines, whoops, get this so you can actually read it, outlines that enable IGMP snooping if you're using multicast, and you have to do that throughout the entire network, but in your, this is why I don't like them, yeah, because they slip up. I had a pair of Shure in-ears for a long time, for like almost 10 years, and we used them on stage for like performances and stuff, and they work just fine. The problem is that these ones, just the earpiece, I just need one earpiece that's a little bit smaller. I would typically only have one in at a time anyway, so I'm not constantly doing this, because if I plug both ears, I hear my head voice, and that's really difficult to like do, you know, vocal tone match and that sort of stuff. So you can only really have one in, and so you get one that's fitted right. And this ear is a wee bit bigger, I think. The actual canal is bigger than this one, and so this one keeps slipping out, and this one seems to be fine for now. So anyway, yeah, so check this out. NDI network guidelines, they are actually available on the website. You can just type in Google NDI network requirements, and a little PDF site will show up. If you click on it, it'll download the PDF or open it in your browser. I don't know, and you'll get this. So here are network considerations. They're obviously going to update this because this was done long before NDI was running 4K, but this is a good starting point, and this is as much recommendation as you're probably going to find in the NDI industry. So it's nice that the actual makers of NDI came out with this, because this at least gives you a good idea as to what it is that you should be looking for in terms of buying switches and that sort of stuff. They even go, well, they talk about NewTek products, obviously, like PTZ1 requires 25 watts, NextSpark requires 15, but then they say manage switch settings. So notice that they don't even say, here's what you do with an unmanaged switch. They just assume you're buying managed switches, which is the recommendation. Managed switches only. Disable quality of QoS, disable jumbo frames, enable flow control, which you can or you don't have to, but it depends on how the network is configured in terms of what like required for TCP data. Enable IGMP snooping if you're using multicast, and configure the query interval. So, you know, whatever. At least it's something to like give your IT department so they have an idea as to what's required, and if they're buying switches like through a consortium or something, they can get the correct ones that they need. Oh, you know what? I don't even have my little chat program running. All right, that coffee's done. Thank goodness, because it was Keurig, and that was not fun. On Tuesday, I made a Keurig coffee, and it was terrible. All right, cool. Now I'm on the chat. What's going on, everybody? Sorry if you're hearing the cars outside, the big giant trucks that are passing by. Okay, cool. Whoa. Just gonna mute this. There we go. All right. And now I'm watching the chat on Facebook too. Curious if you've done any more testing with different high-length HDMIs, with high-length HDMI with the Flex units since last we chatted. No. All of my HDMI cables that I have here for testing are 3 feet or shorter. We're not running giant runs from like from sources to flexes. So if you're mounting all the flexes in a rack case or something like that, I haven't tested any of that. I do have, oh, there's an interesting idea. I just bought an HDMI cable, a one-way HDMI cable for my my small theater setup downstairs, because I need to run it across the entire basement, because the The receiver is actually in a different room now. So there might be an option where I can hook up a flex to the display side and a source. Well, I could just send any source, I guess, and see if it works. So I now have the resources to do it. So maybe that's something we can do. But it's a fiber HDMI cable. It's not copper. Why does if you use Amazon Subscribe and Save, why do they default to use your gift card balance? I've never understood that. No, don't use my gift card balance. Why would I want to use my gift card on like paper towels? I can't wait for Flex out. I have a few on order. Yeesh. I can't wait to get them either. They are supposed to be out this month, so that's only 2 weeks left, you know? So, here's hoping. That is the prediction. Whoops. Another. No, it was just that one. Okay. All right, I fixed that. Now, gift cards are a debt on the books, and they want to remove it. Looks better on the bottom line. Huh? That's true. That's good thinking. Look at you. Coming up with reasons. All right, well, let's see here. We got... Dan did a little interview with somebody from like Adobe or something. User group. I don't know if you've seen this already or not. Thanks, accounting. All right, so let's see if I can share this desktop screen. Here's Miley. Can you hear that? Let me check my... Miley. Just need to check the feed, make sure that you guys can hear this. Microphone. NDI sources. Wait, where's the desktop audio? Hang on. Okay, so you can't hear that. Desktop audio. Ah. There we go. All right, let's pause this just to check the audio. This is Dan. He's the owner, one of the owners. Dan and Eamon. Come on, John, hurry up. Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. The audio. Okay, so double music. Awesome. All right. We'll kill this. Wait. Still can't hear it. Good golly, you'd think I'd test this before I did this live. Never mind. Apparently I don't have this set up correctly. Kill the sound. VLC microphone. Well, this stream is about troubleshooting. It is about troubleshooting. You are correct. I have a Stream Deck. I don't ever like play videos, and so that's me talking in the background. I can hear that. Oh, the delay on this is brutal. Well, this is fun. Alrighty, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to deal with that later, figure out what I did wrong, and turn this music back on, because just listening to me is not as fun as you think it is. All right, here we go. Yeah, so I do have a Stream Deck. I'm not too sure why the desktop audio. I used to use it all the time, but apparently it's not set up on this one, so I'll have to work that out. Whatever I did wrong there. Anyway, there's a video you should watch. I haven't even watched it, but Miley's actually at the Bird Dog headquarters doing this interview, and it looks like it's for Adobe. Jimmy Harmsworth. Don't recognize him, but and John Barry. John does not look impressed. Bungered up the live feed. Pipe up. I'll read. Okay, cool. So yeah, there is. Oh, I'm sorry. Jimmy does not look impressed here. Check this out. Jimmy Harmsworth and John Barry, and John's like, not too impressed with whatever Dance was saying. Or maybe John's not impressed with what Jimmy's talking about. Anyway, I'm going to check that out after the show. See what it's all about. Alrighty. Okay, so come one, come all. Whatever issues you've got going on, let me know. I am sweating it up like crazy here in my office. Probably wasn't a great idea to drink a big cup of hot coffee and then stand for an hour under a light and limited ventilation. So if I pass out, feel free to leave the stream, and we'll see you next week. But in the meantime, here to answer your questions. There's some cool stuff coming up out of Bird Dog that stay tuned to the user group for. Should be pretty soon. But anyways, yeah, some fun stuff. Help you with your NDI installations. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, so in terms of Stream Deck, Atomic, what are you using Stream Deck for in particular? Like, do you have like specific apps that you like to use? Is there some, like, what's the specific reason why you bought one? I use it primarily for Twitch, but my wallet can't handle too much more cool stuff. Well, we'll see. Yeah, if you just bought 4 P400s, your wallet's probably hurting right now. That I would understand completely. I mean, Bird Dog is known, right, for basically inventing the full NDI line. There aren't too many other companies out there that are doing full NDI. There's a few that are that have announced full NDI on some of their product lines. I think Panasonic announced one. A unit that could do both. I don't know what their cutting down what their latency time is, but it was announced, and so I assume that they're planning on releasing it. Mainly the ATM, the ATEM control, TriCaster, macros, talkback. Oh, okay, cool. So in a production environment is what you're up to. Very cool. Four P400s and a keyboard along with switchgear. Yeah, that's an investment, man. That is definitely an investment. All right, let's close this down. Close down Ubiquiti website. My little studio monitor here. I don't actually need that. Try and lighten the load of what my computer's up to. These things, we don't need these things. Don't need that. Don't need this. Don't need this. That's for sure. Not to break the internet, but how is the quad firmware going this week? What do you mean, how's it going? Have you seen any updates recently? Actually, in the spirit of bringing you people onto this Twitch stream, I do have a beta for Quad. I'm happy to share that link with you. You can send me a ticket to the help desk, and I can try and get that over to you. Let me see. Where is that? I think it's here. Ish. So I do have a beta for Quad. Currently, let's see what sharing permissions are on this guy. Anyone. Okay. So if you want the beta for Quad, which is the 20.10.165 update, feel free to send me a message at help@bird-dog.tv and just say, hey, looking to get the beta for Quad. That Quad decode is a promise, I'm betting, is a feature that was never promised. Oh no, decode is promised on Quad. It will decode. Actually, and I believe it was decoding in 1.63. And is that beta on the website? Hang on. I don't know which ones they've posted publicly. No. So I have 163, but I also have the latest one. Which is basically 165. But it is a beta. Definitely a beta. So understand that it's still being worked on. Anyway, let me know. Let me open the help desk. If any of you guys send me a message, please send me a note here in the chat and let me know you submitted something for that. Jeez, 5 more tickets just this hour. All right. So yeah, let me know if you want that Atomic 165. They're working on, I believe it was decode audio was the issue, this version's. I wish the two-way worked on the minis and studios. Yeah, everybody wishes that. Minis and Studios, you can download 3.0, which is an older firmware. Let me look at that database. This article right here has the 3.0 firmware on it. If you download that firmware for your device and change it to 3.0, that beta feature will still be in there. It is just not supported anymore because of the RX transmission problem. So you're welcome to use it. Yeah, just at your own risk type thing. We've been toying around with the idea of including the beta back in there and just saying, like, having a checkbox saying, like, I realize that I'm using this. It may not work right. You know, it is what it is. But there was that little problem where even if you weren't dual encoding, or if you weren't encode decoding at the same time simultaneously, it still messed up the decode. Like if you were just in decode mode, it had problems in decode. So that's why it got nixed, is because we couldn't figure out what the problem was, other than maybe it's a hardware limitation. So they're gonna, if the developers have time, they're gonna try and monkey around with it. But that is the priority on Quad right now, is to do that encode decode selection, because obviously there are 4 ports. So that will be the unit that will encode decode simultaneously going forward, I believe. On the new Adobe video with Dan at 2855, he has a WebRTC transmit and a BirdDog headquarters receive. He has a WebRTC transmit, yes. Are they shipping Quad again? Not yet. Soon. Yeah, the firmware has to be completed before they'll ship anything. It's basically like an internal policy now. Okay, so what is he doing? This is probably new to me, Yakamoto. Was the last update to multi-viewer the complete rewrite or just a patch? Multi-viewer. CPU has gone down some. I mean, they're always tweaking it, so like I would always grab the latest update from the website first and then do it. That's funny. I need to look at this video. See what he's doing. Hush. All right, what's the time? 28:55. 28. Ooh. Okay, so 28:55. Okay, so he's just transmitting to WebRTC and then he's pulling it down from WebRTC. That's all he's doing, it looks like. So let's pause this. We could try it. Why you would want to do it, I'm not 100% sure, but I haven't watched the video, so who knows. All right, log in. BirdDog headquarters. Oh, he's still transmitting. Okay, well, let's open my unit then. I don't know when they updated multi-viewer last, but I'm sure if they haven't updated it recently, I'm sure they're about to, because all of the devices have a new encoder, and so they're optimizing it for each of them. Plus, especially like cam control, because there's a lot more coloration options on the P400s and the P4Ks. So cam control needs like an overhaul to accommodate all those coloration issues. Okay, so he's going from my endpoint is still booting. I think it was 2 weeks ago. That is possible. Unless he's got like some setting on his machine, because it won't let me pull down the WebRTC option yet. And we are transmitting. Let me see if I can actually see the signal. Oh yeah. Okay, my endpoint is online. But it doesn't let me do the WebRTC transmit. So there may be a setting in his unit that allows him to do that. Let me look at his endpoint for Doug Headquarters 1.9. Yeah, whoa. Okay, nothing there. Ah, there it is. WebRTC. Okay, I just need to refresh. Oh, but there's no stream available. Presenter mode. Can I get it in London? Nope. Can't get it there. Look at the WebRTC stream. Let's make sure it's functioning. Play. It is here. New tab. And it is transmitting. So now... I don't know, Yakimoto, I don't see a way to pull down the stream. I can't even pull it down to him. Or to London or to Norway or anything. So that I don't know. You will have to probably message... I mean, you can send it to the help desk and I can ask the guys, but there appears right now that it's not an option for me. And I'm an admin. What is the use case that you would want that? Why would you want to pull a WebRTC stream down from one that you're transmitting? Because it can't be faster. I mean, I can't foresee it being faster. I guess it might be, but I find that hard to believe. Because it's one extra step. So unless, well, let me test it. If I get it working, I'll test it. I don't know why I can't select it though. It did look like on that screen that he showed, it looked like it was perhaps, well, I'll watch it. We can talk about it on Tuesday. I'll watch it and try and get an idea as to what he's doing. Again, what's your use case? Tell me why you would use it and figure out if that's something that we would figure out a way to... I mean, I should just... If it does work, I should produce a little how-to, right? I know we can send a remote interviewee a WebRTC, yeah, and pull that into vMix OBS via the browser option. But if we had the option to pull it via cloud and convert to NDI, that would be great. But why don't you just send it back to the endpoint NDI? So, like, you want to send the end product, for example, from your production back to your wherever your source is. So you could just send it over cloud and just use the encoder on the machine. So do something like this, where here's the WebRTC stream, which is being generated here. This is an actual signal. If we look, the actual signal is coming from NVIDIA Quadro P2000 desktop. So then we would just say, send to US support over NDI. Rendezvous is fine. I think it's this one. NDI to NDI. 25 is fine. Transmit, receive, timecode generated, and let's do John. If you just want to send it back, boy, it don't need to be this big. You could just do a really small stream. And now, this may be the wrong source. What's this? Yeah, okay. So this is the source that's being sent. Oh no, it's not. It must be full screen or something. Anyway, this is being generated as NDI. So if we open Studio Monitor now, well, let's see. Should be coming into John's support team. Nothing yet. Wait for it to generate, I guess. Come on. Oh. Oh, that's my studio pack. I was like, I recognize that. Anyway, you can bring it back into your stream like this, right? Ooh, I'm dropping frames like crazy. As NDI. So you don't have to bring it over WebRTC. And see, this is what it does when I do that. It doesn't give me an option. But I'm just bringing it in straight up NDI, and I would bring it in at like 3 megs. I wouldn't use 7 megs because that'll be a problem. But you can use the endpoints to pass NDI signals between them. It's not one NDI signal you paid for, it's the tunnel you paid for. So it's solely based on the speed of your internet and the power of your machine. So if you are already bringing in one signal, well, if you're sending WebRTC and it's going to a server, well, then you have the power to encode. So you just lower the encode rate to 3 megs or something, and instead of sending it up to WebRTC and over to the destination, or the remote in this case, you would send it just straight to the remote and bypass WebRTC altogether. Does that make sense? So like if, for example, here, Bird Dog headquarters, they're gonna send me that signal. Let's say Adobe Pro. I really want this to be smaller. 2 megs. All right, so here is the signal, and they're sending this, and I'm production, okay? So generate, this is just a standard, just generating this signal at 2 megs up and down. Oh, this is Adobe Pro though. There may be nothing there. Change the source to Quadro, close. Ah, it didn't change the source. Edit. Change the source, Quadro, save, close. All right, so HQ is sending me this signal, and now I can just say, okay, and then from support to HQ. This might tank my feed, by the way. So here, do default to. We can grab the signal whenever it decides to show up on my network. Or grab any signal. Say this is the signal going back, right? Like this is the finished product. NDI to NDI, next packet, allow packet. Well, that would probably be better to make it a little smoother. Hit connect. And now, 1, 2. So I'm receiving this. Oh boy, OBS is dying. And this is what is being sent. So you can send 2 streams if you want. It's a little heavy on the system, right? But you can do it. Depends on your configuration. So, for sure, sometimes we have last-minute guests and have been using WebRTC because we can't get our Bird Dog Cloud flight packs out to them in time. Okay. Also, confirm streaming 4K over cloud with a P4K. Looks great. Awesome. Well, that's fun. Hit record on one of those and send that over to us. We'd like to see it. I have a broken P4K, and so it's a pre-production model, so it's had some issues since it left the factory. But I don't have the ability to test P4K otherwise, so I'd love to see what it looks like. So you can post on Facebook or whatever, just show your cloud setup. That'd be cool for people to see what it is that you're up to, but also that it can be done. and that the images look really good. Thanks for telling me. All right, friends. Well, it is noon, and that means noon on Thursday is back to the tickets. I do need to go to UPS at some point this week, but yeah, there's a lot to do. So we're working on that. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out. And please join us every week, twice a week, for 1 hour on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 to 12, here on Twitch. If you're a personal friend of mine, I also send this to my personal Facebook or YouTube channel, so look me up there. Feel free to follow us on Twitch, though. That'll help us out big time when it comes to, keeping this channel growing and moving and making sure it's relevant. So when we come online, you should get an email notification that we're live, and you don't have to rely on Facebook or anything like that. So follow us on Twitch. That would help us out. And we're here to answer support. I'm here to answer support questions and do all that sort of good stuff. I'm working as fast as I can to get tickets replied to and confirmed, and working with guys in Australia to make sure things are correct and all that sort of good stuff. So please submit a ticket at help@bird-dog.tv. I try and respond to every new ticket that I have every day. Once we kind of get the ball rolling, it's up to how quickly we can resolve things. But I do, if you send us a ticket, you should get a confirmation number back to your email. If you don't, please resend it. I had somebody today that it appears they didn't make it to us. Don't know where, but didn't make it to us. So if you would please submit a ticket, make sure you get a confirmation email, and then I will try my best to get right back to you as soon as I can, as soon as I'm able. I've got several meetings set up this afternoon, so be some change of pace, but really appreciate it. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for helping each other, and yeah, we look forward to Tuesday. We start up next week again at 11 Eastern Standard Time. Hang out with us, and we'll do it again. So cheers, guys. I really appreciate it, and we'll check you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend. Later.